incoming storm.
Greetings, fellow travelers. What we're doing here today, I'm back here in my storage base. We're going to do a little refresher course on the small refiner duplication glitch. You see here, anybody can put down a small refiner, and usually what I do on every expedition is I get the materials to make this refiner, which is oxygen and ferrite dust. And you have to make some steel plating, and then you can make a refiner, but you need to make at least 2. And you keep them in your backpack so you can always bring one up and then duplicate in it. We're just going to show you here a little bit what you can do. Let's say you got some of these exosuit expansion units, or multi-tool expansion units, or salvage frigate modules, or even these, which are 600 million each, or starship expansion augmentations or expansion units, or even the factory override units. And I believe I have one other item in here. Let me see if I lost. Here we go. The cargo bulkhead. That's to increase the storage on your freighter. All these can be duplicated in the small refiner. And all you do is put it in here. Get another refiner, make sure you have the parts for it, and you'll notice it turns green when you place it. And you just place it, if you watch closely. I'm doing this on a PC. It's a little more difficult on a PlayStation or an Xbox. You just bring it out a little, go slowly, and you bring it out a little bit in front of it. That. And then you'll see you have one in your bag. And you just delete that refiner, and you'll find you have another one. And you always have to take it out and put it back in order to duplicate it again. Sometimes, however, when you do this, this may not work, putting it in front of it, but you can then put it slightly behind it. Now you see what I'm doing? I'm putting it slightly behind the one in the front. Just enough, and it's a little harder this way, but if the frontwards way doesn't work, the rear way will work. Take it out, delete the front one, and you see they're still there. So that is the little bit of tutorial on how this works when you have issues with this small refiner. On every expedition, I make sure I make 2 of these, and I can duplicate every material I find, full stacks. I always try to get a full stack of carbon, try to get a full stack of ferrite dust, and maybe even a full stack of the silicon powder so I can make stone stuff. I find it easier to duplicate on stone. Wood works, so does glass, so does steel, but stone seems to work the best. Some weird reason. I don't see no problem. You can just do it on the surface of the planet, although you seem to need to get a relatively level area so you can get the legs right, so you can get the other refiner in front of or behind these legs. The other one is the large refiner, and as you notice as I'm walking up, you see a circle down here at the bottom here, like that. You have to use a wood base in order to get this effect. I put a couple lights here, and that's so I could see it better. I use green only because it seems to make it look a little bit better. And you can duplicate in this the same way the little one. You can put one item in here, or you can put one item in each slot. You can put different items in each slot. Whatever you want to do. Test it to make sure. Try something I don't have a lot of. No, I have a lot of everything. I know we can do an Atlas pass. You have to go up and get your large refiner. Make sure you have the material. As you can see, you'll need 200 chromatic metal, sodium nitrate, and microprocessors, 5 of those. And all you do is you start scooting this along and get real close to that circle on the bottom of the wood. And the refiner will start to change color, as you can see above. I think it's about like that. You click it in, and now you see I got my Atlas Pass 3. And I have another Atlas Pass 3. If I want to duplicate it again, I just put it back in. Or I can just add another item to this slot or another to this slot, doesn't matter. As long as you take it out and put it back in or add another to this, you can reduplicate it as many times as you see fit. That's basically it on the large refiner. Very simple. You can do it with a medium refiner the way I've done it here. It'll create a circle similar to this, and you do the same thing with a medium refiner, and you can duplicate 2 things at once. By doing this with 3 things at once, you'll notice I've got a whole storage container full of augmentations for my ship. In fact, I've got 2. And then I went ahead and did multi-tools and more multi-tools. And over here, I did frigate modules. And over here, I did exosuit and more exosuit. The reason I did that is at one time, you used to be able to duplicate these items right here in the refiner. And you cannot duplicate those anymore. No Man's Sky decided to delete the ability to do that. And so what I did this time, because I thought maybe they might be taking these items, these items, these items, these items, and these items, and maybe even these at one time, making it so you can't duplicate them. And the reason why I think that might happen is because if you look at this refiner, anytime you put these other items in, let's say like this one, over here, it doesn't do anything. If I put fuel in here, these items will not refine to anything. So it's pretty useless to put them in here other than duplicating. So it's very possible that someday they will take that ability out of the game. So this is why I filled up storage units, as many as I could. Even a couple spaceship haulers I got and filled up with lots of stuff. So if the day came that I could not duplicate those items, I have 2 accounts. I have another account on PS4 and this account. I can actually go on with a character there and come on and join with this character on this account and actually transfer items to that new player in a new game, in a new save, and they will be able to get all the exosuit slots, ship slots, and whatever when that time comes. In the meantime, I'm going to keep these full at all times and send them to my other players as I see fit, and then keep restoring the amounts in here just to keep it full. If it ever happens that we cannot duplicate those items, I have plenty of storage in here to last probably a few years left in the game when this is unable to be duplicated. Anyway, this short video is just a tricky tutorial and matter of fact kind of thing. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, please leave comments, and we'll see you on the next one.